Okay, so this is a video about some things I've learned about the Minstrel in order to try to help you with your DPS. The first thing that I've gotten is this add-on right here. And what that has helped me to do is your ballad buffs go in these three blocks right here, and your anthems go in these buff slots right here. And this little plugin is called Minstrel Buff. Sorry, Minstrel Buff. And this first block right here is for when you're in blue build. It has your lesser on the top and your greater anthem on the bottom. And the same for red build is the second block. It's going to have your lesser anthem on the top and your greater anthem on the bottom. And the third block here is for this one is for the greater anthem of prowess when you're in red. And there's a different anthem that you would use in blue that will fill up this block. And then the fourth block is the anthem of the free peoples. Now, something else I have learned is that once you put out the lesser anthem of dissonance, and then you put out the greater anthem of war, once you have both of these out, using just lesser anthem of dissonance will refresh the duration of both of these buffs. So once you get your rotation going in a fight, you only have to maintain 3 buffs once you've put all 4 out. Something else to consider is that with the ballad buffs, something I have learned is that you can stack the same ballad buff. So as before, where I was doing the minor ballad dissonance, and then the perfect ballad, and then the major ballad, I found out that if you stack minor ballad dissonance 3 times, it has the better DPS personal buff. So stacking it 3 times is going to increase your damage the most. And then when I'm rolling, I like to add all of these. They're usually the AoE effects. But in a single target situation, you still want to use them because they have the 33% chance to apply a damage over time for 15 seconds. So rolling through them when they're off cooldown is always a good option. And a lot of times, some of your abilities have a chance to reset the cooldown on all of them. And so you can kind of spam through them. And just managing your 3 stacks of the ballads, it helps your DPS as well as then your Call to Fate will hit a little bit harder. And then if you really just have nothing left to do because everything is on, like all these are on cooldown and your Call to Fate's on cooldown, you already have 3 ballad buffs stacked, then you can go ahead and use your Coda of Fury. And then at that point, what I usually will do is instead of just doing 3 minor ballad dissonances, I'll kind of start weaving in just for that chance of a damage over time proc, as well as just using it to maintain your buffs. So to give you a good example, I'll just go ahead and use the training dummy to try and roll through a rotation. I'm not a master at the rotation yet, so it might be a little sloppy, but you'll start to see the interaction here on the Minstrel buff plugin, and that is really what it's about. Again, it's not going to be, my DPS meter is not going to be too great. My gear is not amazing. I'm using a lot of green quest gear and some just like small dungeon gear that I have found along the way. So the last thing I guess to say would be to keep your timeless echoes of battle up on a big fight target. It's not great for all the small fights when you're going through and just killing things in a couple of hits, but if you know you're going to be doing an extended multiple cycle through your rotation, keeping this up for that extra damage. At the later game, right now, even though my gear's not great, I don't run out of power while I have it up on the target, so that helps a lot. And if you find any guides talking about using the dissonant piercing cry in the rotation, it's a yes and a no. If you know that there's going to be an ability that you have to interrupt, this is your interrupt, and it's ranged, so that's really strong, and you want to make sure you're saving it for that. However, if the fight doesn't require you to use any interrupts, or there maybe is just one, but somebody else has the priority on getting it, then you can throw it into the rotation. It is a very strong ability. It hits pretty hard. Just it's not worth giving up your interrupt if you're going to.
The sky begin to fall apart. I know you're tired, but you can't keep running. Terrified, I won't see you on the other side. The cancer couldn't stop, now you're buried in a box, but you can't keep running. I wanna know the way it feels. You cheated death, but now it's real. When your eyes roll back and the world turns black. Can heaven fall into my lonely earth? 'Cause hell is when I know you won't return. Can heaven fall to earth? I wanna feel like I'm down. Neon grave, illuminate the life you took away. Your heart expired, and now the hurt keeps coming. Silver lines, I don't think that I will ever find how to make it right when you fade into the night. Yeah, my hurt keeps coming. I wanna know the way it feels. You cheated death, but now it's real. When your eyes roll